I look, the guy has got immense talent. There is absolutely no denying it. Let's just look at most recently the ball. It's one moment that he can do in a match. That's it. One moment. You know, he's played an incredible ball through to Harry Kane against Liverpool, and the weight of pass, his touch. It can all be incredible, but you need that for more than 5 minutes. I personally don't believe he does more than 5 minutes worth of work in the 60, 70 minutes. I think I saw The Athletic today said that he's our record signing and he's only ever played 90 minutes, like a handful of times. That's our record signing. Spain, Italy, France, wherever he likes, and he'll probably shine. He's one of those players that Spurs will lose and he'll go on to be a great player.
You're going to hate me. I disagree with every single Spurs fan on this. Literally everyone. I think Spurs have completely mismanaged Ndombele. Here we go.
I'm ready for it.
If you look at the way he played at Lyon, he had fitness, he had energy. If you watch him in the Champions League when he played for them, he looked mustard, absolute top draw. He then comes to Spurs, and this is what I think. This is what I think's happened. Okay, we've signed him to play Champions League football in a Pochettino attacking style team, and Poch is manager. 3 months later, we sacked the manager we bought this player for, and then we now expect this player to go and play in a Jose Mourinho non-attacking, low block, ultra defensive team, and we play him holding mid. So for the rest of that season, he's gone to shit. Then we bring in Ryan Mason, a kid, to then help Ndombele and the rest of them. But I'm just talking about Ndombele. We then spend 7 weeks looking for a new manager. We bring in Nuno, Jose Mark II, who also plays Ndombele holding mid. And then in comes Conte. By now, Ndombele has gone to shit, as have many other players. And then what does Conte do? Plays him holding mid, that same position. He was never that player. He's never played that position for Lyon. And we're expecting him to suddenly set the world on fire and do really well. Mentally, he's checked out. Psychologically, I don't think he likes Tottenham. I don't think he likes the way it's a manager merry-go-round. I don't think he's ever settled because it's always a different manager. And I think he's one player that's been affected by the way the football club has run the football team. If you look at that game against Liverpool, he was very, very good. Okay? But what happened against Liverpool? We played attacking football. Yeah. Good football. That's what we bought him for. But we don't play that kind of football often. We play quite defensive, pragmatic, or we focus on these attacking wing-backs under Conte. How does Ndombele fit in that system? I don't know how he's going to fit in this system unless we get brilliant attacking wing-backs that then allows that midfield trio to work more effectively. But we haven't, because our attacking wing-backs aren't great. So I think we've mismanaged Ndombele. And I think psychologically, he's just like, I couldn't give a shit what anyone thinks. I'm getting my paycheck. I don't really get much game time. When I do play, I'm always subbed. What's the point of me being here? And I think we have contributed to what has happened to Ndombele. I blame Spurs more than I blame Ndombele. And this thing about him walking off the pitch slowly and everyone booing him, it's one of those media moments that everyone jumps on, and they just use that as a kind of a weapon against him almost. Maybe a weapon's a bit harsh, but they use it as a trigger point, right? That's it. Get rid of him. We all want him out. I get that. And if anyone disagrees with me, fine. Because 99% of fans would disagree with me on this one. I think we've screwed him up.
He plays better with space when he's got space and time on the ball. He plays better. If we watch the Liverpool game, Liverpool played an incredibly high line, which we got in behind 6, 7, 8, 9 times in that game. They did the same against Chelsea the following week. I think that he doesn't play well against and I don't really like this phrase, but low block, which we saw yesterday, and we see a lot in the Premier League now. But I think that, I'm sorry, I don't, and it's not, no, I'm not against you, just in general, but I think, and someone might think that what I'm saying is not right, but when you're paid £200,000 a week, I have to turn up to my job and do my best to turn up and give a half-assed appointment. And I get, he's been mismanaged, all the rest of it. I'm sorry, but if you don't perform in any industry of work in the world,
but Luke,
something is done about it.
Who gave him? Is it his fault? He's on 200 grand a week.
He's happy to take the money.
Of course he is. Wouldn't you? My point, that is an argument. Doesn't
then
work.
We can't you can't criticize him for. You can't not criticize him. Sorry, for not performing when he's not performing for the money that he's earning.
So why don't we criticize other players who are on low wages when they don't play that well? The way we do Ndombele. It's because he's the big money signing. He's the superstar, expensive buy, and he's on mega wages. If he cost us 20 million and he was on 80 grand a year, this conversation wouldn't be an issue. But that's not his fault. He's got a very good agent and a very stupid club that agreed to this.
Yeah, I don't think I think he goes to any club in the Premier League apart from someone like Liverpool. I don't think he can handle it. I honestly don't think he can handle the speed and pace of the Premier League. I personally don't. France is a completely different league.
I think
he did it in the Champions League against Man City. He did it in the Champions League against Man City over 2 legs. He was fantastic. So I think he can handle it.
I just think, obviously, I know we talk about the mental issues and all of that thing. I get that totally, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I've probably been in those situations as well. But for me, I can't not look the other way about it. And I get he's probably been mistreated because he lost his 2 best mates as well. But sadly, that's just
there was a reason behind that, though, wasn't there? Why he lost his 2 best mates, because that was part of the problem in the squad.
I just think football is sadly a very scrutinised game, and I think if you're not up to scratch or people don't, then sadly it's the way it is. And I do kind of think that, I know, like you said, Stel, he played well against City in the Champions League, but then he's not playing that level and intensity every week. I just don't think, for me, Ndombele has really ever, and I know you said there's been lots of chops and changes, I just don't think he's ever upped his game in that kind of sense. And it's probably harsh for me saying it. I mean, I've got bloody Harry Winks behind me that never really ups his game until now. But
all right, Hollie, let's do a little test now between the 3 of us, okay? Mm-hmm. When all this chopping and changing began, round about when Poch got sacked, let's start from that transfer window. We signed Ndombele, Lo Celso and Sessegnon. That was the beginning of the end for Poch. So let's include that transfer window. We've then had 4 transfer windows afterwards. We went and bought Bergwijn and Gedson on a loan. We then bought Doherty, Højbjerg, Reggie, Vinicius. Who else did we buy in that window? Joe Hart. There was one more. I'm sure there was one more. Rodon. Right?
Yeah, Rodon.
Then we bought in Romero, Brian Hill, Pape Sarr, Emerson and Galini, right? All them signings, who has stood out for you? And you can say, yeah.
Out of every single player.
The fact we've got to think about it answers it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the point I'm trying to make here is, all of those players have not shown us what we wanted to see from any player being signed at Spurs. And I think they've all been affected by mismanagement of the transfer window, signing players and then sacking the manager we've hired them for 3 months later, not having a settled system, not having a settled squad, and chopping and changing the way we play, and every new manager coming in, right, let's give everyone a chance, right, let's go. Ndombele, for me, is paying the price, along with all of those players, of what I just tried to describe, if I described it very well. But Ndombele will get the biggest criticism because he costs so much money and because he's on such a high wage. The only ones maybe you could say, do you know what, they've done all right, is Reggie and Højbjerg. I would say them 2, you could say, do you know what, they've been all right for Tottenham and they've had really good games for us. But the rest of them, like Lo Celso, we're still waiting for him to hit the ground running. Brian Hill shows little moments. Bergwijn shows little moments. Emerson, Galini, Sessegnon, again, another one. He's an enigma.
Well, I think it depends the way you read, doesn't it? Because a lot of them, like Lo Celso, do get a lot of stick online. Let's, if we're going to use that terminology. I think that a lot of people do get stick. It just depends who you read and where you're reading it. I agree that Ndombele has had an extraordinary amount of stick recently, but I don't think he's done anything to. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's mismanagement, but there must have been something the club could do. There must be something somebody could do if he wanted to, and that's the point. I've never seen him show a willingness, and to only complete a certain amount of a handful of 90 minutes since we signed him, it's outrageous.
Imagine I own Harrods, and Hollie is my floor manager, okay, and I say, Hollie, what do we need to improve sales? And she says to me, we need marketing. We need a social media manager, someone that's brilliant at social media to really promote the shop floor. And I say, all right, what do you reckon? And she goes, I know this guy called Luke. He's brilliant. He's up and coming. He's young. He's showing all the right skills and tricks. And I'm like, all right. So I contact Luke. I call you up. Luke, how much do you want? I want 200 grand a week. I'm like, how much? And I want a signing on. I'm like, how much? And I'm like, Hollie, this is a really expensive. And Hollie says, no. He's the one. So I go and buy him. You come in. And then 3 months later, sales are down, customer service scores are down, and we're losing customers. And I say, Hollie, what is going on? You're my manager. What? I don't understand. And I've spent all this money getting this social media manager for you, Hollie. And Hollie goes, it's not just him. We need more. That was one piece. I need another 5 pieces. I've got a decision to make. Do I go and buy those 5 pieces, or do I sack Hollie? And I sack Hollie. And then I bring in John. And in comes John to replace Hollie. And John says to me, I'm not sure about this Luke guy. And I'm like, I've just spent 200 grand a week. This is my problem. This is where I get frustrated. And it's not just you, Luke, not being good at social media manager, or Hollie being a poor shop floor manager.
I've never worked in a shop in my life.
Well, listen, I'm not a very good boss because I sacked you. I should have kept you, right? But this is it happened again with Nuno and Jose and Mason, and now here we are with Conte again, and it's happening again. I just think the club have completely fucked this one up badly, and we're just all kind of, because we're so emotional, we're so angry. It's like, Ndombele, just get out of here, because I don't see any Spurs fan going against the manager this time. I think we all agree Conte's our guy. So we've got to channel our... Fans shouldn't boo Ndombele. They should boo up in the stands at Daniel Levy on this one, I think. But look, Luke, 99% of fans agree with you on this one, by the way. Just so you know, I'm walking along.
I know that.
Like, it is interesting though, because I never really thought of it on that kind of flip side. Like, to think that he has been through so much chopping and changing. I just think, for me personally, like you said, we've all got to back Conte, and if Conte isn't necessarily thinking that he's going to be part of this squad, then I'm thinking, okay, this man kind of knows what he's doing. But I totally get it, Stel.